Hello. So today we're going to talk about the nuts and bolts of iMovie. And this is the program we're going to use to make content, basically. I'm going to focus this towards yoga because that's the people I'm helping right now. So what I've done is I've got some raw footage recorded with my iPhone that I dropped here on the desktop. So we're going to look at how to turn that into sort of a finished video. And we've got just meditation audio here. So how do I take my meditation script and put a picture up and turn it into a video from that? So be fairly comprehensive, but I think it's doable. So what we're going to do is open iMovie, and you get a screen like this. So you probably have nothing here. You might get some welcome screens and etc. So you just click OK. And we are going to create a new project. And it's going to ask you movie or trailer. We want a movie because we don't want the trailer template. Okay. And then you'll get a screen like this. So there's a few things to understand about this. Far left panel here is sort of like organization. So we can split our projects up to stay more organized. This middle top part is like a media bin. And what that means is it's kind of like a bin. So think of it as a shoebox. We've thrown all our raw footage in, and it's just going to exist here, and iMovie knows about it, but it's not necessarily part of a finished project. And this lets you sort of choose what you want. Down here is a timeline for a finished project. So if it's down here, when you export it, it's going to be the finished thing. And here is the viewer where we will watch stuff. So we can watch stuff from the bin or from the final timeline. So what we're going to do is add our media, basically, because nothing's in here. So we can go to File, Import Media, and we want the desktop, and I want my glorious yoga video there. If we hold down the command key, we can choose more than one thing. So I'm choosing my meditation audio and my raw footage. And we're going to import. Okay. So now we have our video here and we have our audio here. You will not hear anything from my computer because I'm recording from the microphone. And, Apple's chosen to make hearing external and internal sounds unrecordable for whatever reason. So here's my yoga video. Obviously, I won't be doing this because I can't get a good camera angle, but it'll give you the idea. If I push the space bar, it plays. And you can see me doing some sun salutations, really sweaty. Okay, so here's my video, right? So I can just click on this, and you see it gets a yellow box around it. And there's a plus sign, and it drops it down. I believe you can also click and drag. So if I click on this and push delete, it takes it out of my timeline. If I click up here again, I should be able to just click and drag. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so this is our video, right? I am gloriously winking there. Okay, so what we're going to do is, this front part isn't great. Ooh, we are hearing system audio. Oh boy, that's really bad for me for the meditation, as I was very sarcastic. All right, so anyway, this is sort of like not what we want. We don't want the crap of me backing up. So what we can do is we can click and drag in. Also, it's kind of not easy to it's not easy to aim when the timeline is this small. What we can do is zoom in on the timeline using this settings knob over here. You see, if I drag it out, the timeline expands and it gets a little bit easier. So I'm dragging this in, and we're going to start right here before I start. Now it's going to play. I'm really wondering if it's going to record this in the screen recording. We'll see. So you can hear me breathing, and I'm just doing sun salutation, blah, blah, blah. Sun salutation B. Okay. And we get to the end. Beautiful. And then there's more crap. Okay, so what if we want to remove that? We can just get our mouse on the end, and you see the cursor changes, and we drag it back to there. Okay, so now we've got a video. Now, what do we want to do with this? You can see at the top of our media bin, we have different categories. So we have My Media, we have Audio and Video, we have Titles. We can do titles. So I can take, something I like, and we can put it above the timeline. And I can learn to spell too, right? So now this adds some text. Pretty cool, right? So this is a choose your own adventure situation. So whatever you want it to be, it can be. We have some stock backgrounds, which we will probably not use because I don't love these. But if you hold your mouse over them, you can see what they are. Okay? And fun stuff. Transitions is a thing, though. And you see it gives us different transitions. So what if I wanted to fade out at the end? I can choose fade to black, and drag it onto the end. And you see I get a little hourglass type of thing on its side. And I'm going to fade out. So it's nice to have some of these little professional touches. Okay, so that's the basics, right? We'll go back to My Media. All right, let's say I'm done. All right, so now we have to figure out how to share it. And Apple has changed this 1,000 times since iMovie was invented, so we are going to find this out together. So I think what we're going to do is go to File and Share. And it gives us some options. What most people are going to do is choose YouTube and Facebook. So I'm going to click that. And it's got a beautiful title that we can change. So let's call this Sun Salutations. Okay. And I choose my resolution. If you're uploading to smaller sites, Instagram, whatever, you want to choose smaller resolution, I guess. I always choose the big one because that is full HD for YouTube. Okay? So then we're going to say next. And where do we want to put it? We want to put it desktop for now. Okay? Save. Now, in the top right, you will see there's a little circle. And this is an indication of progress. Luckily, this is very short, so it shouldn't take too long. It's about a minute to export. Okay? And we're watching. This is a little like watching paint dry. There we go. Beautiful. So it's exported. And now it will be on my desktop as a movie we can watch. Oops. There it is. Sun Salutations. So we can do whatever we want. We can show it on the computer. We can upload it to YouTube. Whatever. Okay? I'm going to show this because I know I'm going to get this question. What if I want text over nothing? In that case, you would choose a background and drag it down into the timeline. And I move my text over here. Okay, just for, thoughts. Transitions, you see that jump between the black screen and the video. We can choose a cross dissolve and put it in the middle so that it kind of fades across. A little smoother, just some more professionalism types of things to consider. Okay, hope that makes sense. You'll let me know if it doesn't. Leave me a comment. Okay, so that's our basic yoga video. Now I'm going to choose all of this, and I'm going to push delete. So now we're back to square one with our timeline. And we don't have to do it this way. What I could do, actually, let's just do that. Let's do undo, delete. So here's my project, right? And we want to keep it for later for whatever reason. So we can go back to projects. What do we want to call this? Sun salutations. And we're back to projects, and there's, you'll have like a list of projects out here. So now we're going to do a meditation video. So we're going to create new movie. Okay? Now, we should have all our stuff. Which, of course, we don't, because they've made this way harder for no reason. So anyway, we can just import. We'll choose meditation audio. Okay, so there's my audio. And the thing about this is there's like no visual here, right? And you see it knows that. It drops me down into a below timeline. So there's a few ways to deal with this. We can choose backgrounds, which is, maybe not as personalized. So what I like to do is go find a picture. There's several free picture websites. Just search royalty-free pictures. I use Pixabay a lot. So I'm searching meditation, and what do we want? We want something that's sort of like, peaceful looking. Flower. We're going to do a free download. I'm not a robot. Buses. Is that a bus? Okay, download. Okay, so then that goes into my downloads folder, and we would go iMovie, file, import media, and we're going to need to go into my downloads folder. Oh my goodness, we have to give it permission to go into the downloads folder. I could have planned this a little better. So I apologize for the rainbow wheel. Horrific rainbow wheel. We're going to import. I actually moved the file to the desktop because I was too annoyed to deal with it. So we have our lotus flower. We're going to import that. Now we've got our picture, so we can drag it to the timeline. And you see it does not match the length of our audio, so we are going to have to click on the edge here. You see the mouse changes when you get to an edge, and you just drag it out, and you'll see you get a nice little guideline there when things line up. Everything turns yellow. Okay, so we've got our meditation video, and we're good to go, basically. So now I can add a transition if I want. Fade to black, There we go. Okay, and we can add text. We can do all of that stuff using titles. Okay, now, when we're done, file, share, YouTube and Facebook, my movie, meditation 1. I'm going to call it, anything is fine. Next. For convenience, I'm just putting it on my desktop, exporting. Okay, and you see our circle up here in the top right is making progress. Okay. So I hope that gives you some ideas and some things to try. If you want to get way into the nuts and bolts of this, you can, because, you see the picture sort of has an automatic Ken Burns effect. We can control that, I think, maybe. There's a bunch of other types of stuff you can do in iMovie, but this is just the very, very basics. So I hope that helps. Okay, I did forget one last thing that somebody had asked me about. So if you want to record a voiceover, right, and we want to do sexy Sarah Beth yoga voice, what you can do is come to Window, record voiceover, and it asks if you can access the microphone, and then it pinwheels All right, I'm going to cut and come back. Okay, recording voiceover. So, now that we've gotten through our pinwheel, if we go to Window, Record Voiceover, you see it brings up a little record button over here. And there's some settings we can do, so I can choose, how sound is coming in here. If you have a microphone plugged in, you would choose that. It defaults to the computer microphone, which isn't great. If you have an external one, you can choose that. I'm just going to use this for now because I don't want to get everything crossed up and confused. So what we would do is we push record. All right, inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. You get the idea. So I'm narrating as I'm watching. And then we can push stop. And you see it's recorded more audio on a timeline below our main visual timeline. When we're done, we click done. And then, file, share, YouTube, Facebook. Okay? Hope that answers all the questions so far.